Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Over the last 96 odd hours, every single person has a comment to make as it pertains to this disaster that has taken place within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. But being someone who has been involved in the Ministry of National Security, the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force, SSA, and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, I think I may have a little bit of knowledge to understand what is going on. It is indeed unfortunate. What I would ask the country, however, and again I will double down on it, is to continue to give the respect and the support to the officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Those officers who are on the ground, they have done nothing wrong. This has to do with the hierarchy making a whole mess of this. So for all of the officers out there, I ask you all to keep your heads high, continue to serve with pride, and to the citizens of this great country, continue to show the respect and support to the officers who are there to protect you. Having said all of that, this is not an isolated situation. This has been going on for the last few years in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The object seems to be now one of whoever is the king or the queen. Your role is to try to take down that person, and your reward is to get the crown. This is totally unfortunate. I have seen it even when I was Commissioner of Police. There was a certain individual, he tried to target someone so that he could be charged whilst he was a DCP. Then he put a fake report that stopped a man from being an ACP to become a Deputy Commissioner of Police. Then when I was Commissioner of Police, they certainly wouldn't have done what they did with Erla. They would have known what would have happened. So what they did is try to lie and influence politicians for me to be removed. And then when McDonald Jacob took over, others below him tried to get him removed. And now Erla Christopher is the same situation. When would this end? This is totally sickening. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has spent more time in trying to target police officers for providing legitimate legal firearms for law-abiding citizens and for the members of the protective services, the Defence Force and the police as well, in trying to protect them, than they have spent time in trying to target criminal elements who have illegal weapons that have contributed to 100% of murders over the last few years by firearms. And that is where the situation is. Even with myself, it was a fishing expedition, a witch hunt, based on lies, rumors, and that is why you hired retired judges, you hired retirees, and they came up with all of these reports. And that's why after 3 years, not one person has been questioned, not one person has been arrested, not one person has been charged, because they were all lies. It was based on, it is rumored, it is perceived, and we have been told. No complainant, nothing at all. And it has continued, even under my watch, after that 3-year period, in the last 3 years, we had over 80 police officers assigned to see if you could find something on firearms, which is over 500,000 police hours that could have been used to protect you, the citizens of this country. Instead, they were directed on a witch hunt to see if you could find something, and they could find nothing. This situation seems to be no different. It is amazing that up to now, the police service can't say exactly what it is that they were planning to arrest and charge Erla Christopher for. What I would like to believe it is that, again, looking at the situation of the Firearm Act, the only organization that can get prohibited weapons would be the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, law enforcement agencies. The SSA is not seen as a law enforcement agency, so they will not be entitled to have prohibited weapons, because all the persons in the SSA are hired as civilians, so it's basically a civilian prioritized organization. But because of that, somebody who is not very bright in the legal department of the police service may have perceived that now to mean that if sniper rifles were purchased by SSA, sniper rifles may have been prohibited weapons. They are not. A sniper rifle is not a prohibited weapon, strange as it is, because it is not an automatic weapon. And if that is the reason for what they did to Erla Christopher, my God, it shows the standard of the legal department of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So we do not know what the situation is at what they were trying to investigator about, whether it was involved in bribery or bringing in illegal firearms. But as it is right now, all we're hearing about are these sniper rifles, and these sniper rifles being purchased from the SSA. In my take, had I been Commissioner of Police, I would not have done that. But it is not an illegal offense. It may cause administrative glitches for one organization to purchase weapons for another organization, but that is not a criminal offense. But this is where we have reached. We have reached a very unfortunate situation where all that we come to is police officers trying to find every single avenue to try to discredit other police officers. And in a situation like this, when we have a press conference and other police officers being directed to stand up behind the senior officers who have been instrumental in this investigation, how is it that we expect Erla Christopher now to work with the other officers or vice versa? I mean, this is really an unfortunate situation, but it shows the incompetence of those in the legal department. If you can be so sure that you want to arrest a commissioner of police, you better come with the proper information, the evidence, the complainants, the witnesses, the data, and you didn't have it. And I think this is rather unfortunate. So what I would strongly recommend is, rather than we go and start pointing fingers, accusing the police service, not giving them the support, attacking everyone, we have to look at the present situation. Right now, we have a situation where a commissioner of police was appointed, and she reached a point of lack of confidence where even her attorney had to speak on her behalf. She must be strong enough. She has 7,000 persons under her command. She must be sure enough to say that I can speak without having the attorney speak on my behalf. Well, that is her style to mine. Then you have a present deputy commissioner of police who was selected again through the Police Service Commission, where a judge stated that he is shocked that persons who abducted a Trinidad Tobago citizen can still be working in Trinidad Tobago Police Service. And you have another DCP who is there, who goes on and starts to preach and telling citizens you must not be afraid, but he's wearing a bulletproof vest and then boasting that he intends to be the next commissioner of police. So with all of this, what are the solutions? The solutions, I would recommend two things and for people to seriously consider. One is that the Professional Standards Bureau must be removed immediately. This has been the conduit for officers using that as a platform to try to bust the throat of senior officers to try to get their job. That is what has been this PSB. It has been going on for the last few years. What should happen is that we must move this all under the Police Complaint Authority, probably give the head of the Police Complaint Authority some SRP position as an ACP, and have him select several persons to be able now to work with the under the PCA to do investigations separate and apart from the Trinidad Tobago Police Service. Remove the PSP and give the powers to the PCA similar to the internal affairs you see in the United States. The second recommendation is the selection process for substantive commissioners of police and deputy commissioners of police. What was happening before was that international qualified experts such as Penn State and UK qualified experts who select commissioners around the world, they went and did the process, and that's why Dwayne Gibbs was selected. That is why Earl Christopher did not come in the top 20. We changed that to put civilians with no qualification, training, or experience in assessing how you can select the best person to be commissioner of police. So someone who couldn't come in the top 20 became number 1. And that's how we have the present DCPs as well. So the persons in the Police Service Commission do not have the capability to select. So it is recommended, one, as I said, shut down that PSB with immediate effect, and to have the PCA have police officers appointed under them so that they could be involved in all of these investigations to avoid the nonsense that we've been seeing. And 2, let us revert to international bodies with training, qualification, and experience to select the best persons for Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police. It is hoped that we can find a way to rectify the situation. I mean, the Trinidad Tobago Police Service is in total disarray. They continue to sink faster and faster. It's like the Manchester United of police services around the world. But there is hope. I ask again for the public to continue to support the police service, and to the police officers, hold your head high, and this would pass.